In this video, what we're going to look at is white balance settings. Remember, white balance is to do with how the camera sees colour. It's based on the light source that's illuminating your scene. Remember, it's measured in kelvins, and different light sources give off light at different temperatures. Okay, so you've got candlelight, which is perhaps 2000 kelvins. You've got shade, which is 6000 kelvins or thereabouts. Most cameras will have the white balance as a menu setting, or similar, so it won't be a button on the camera itself. If it is a button on the camera, it will be identified by WB in most instances. On here we can see I've got white balance, and it's currently set to AWB, which is auto white balance, which I would personally suggest you always leave your camera set to. That way, if something does go wrong, if you review an image and it looks overly blue or orange, you can assume that it's perhaps a white balance problem and make changes and recapture the shot. If I press OK, I've got the little symbols here and also a little bit of text. I've got auto, where the camera decides for you, daylight, and you should have seen that the screen on the camera immediately went orange because I'm currently under tungsten lighting. We've got cloudy, which is still that orange colour, tungsten light, which means it should have gone back to normal, and then fluorescent, which is again that kind of orangey glow. Once you've chosen the option, press OK to set it, and then if you've got as much information as possible on screen as is suggested, you can see here I've got the little white balance indicator, and again if I turn the camera off and turn the camera on again, it's still set to fluorescent lighting. It's exactly the same with the Samsung again, and again in this case it's found in a slightly different place. It's the function button. Oh. And if I go down to where it says AWB, and I see I've got slightly more options here. I've got daylight, cloudy, fluorescent H, and fluorescent L, and then tungsten. Then I also have a custom setting. The custom setting allows you to set the white balance. So if you had a piece of white paper or a piece of 18% grey card, then you could position the white balance marker, position the card in front of your lens, in some cases just half press the shutter release button and the camera will measure white balance, or you might have to take a picture of the actual thing, and then that white balance will be set for that very specific scene. Again, you can see here I've got the little icon indicating what white balance I'm set under. If you set a custom white balance, then you should be sure that the colours will always be true to what you saw in the scene. And that's changing the white balance.